And we're taking it over to Mattmatt with the next run. They're running Blade 2 on Xbox.
I'm assuming we're good to go now. So, hello, I am Mattmatt. This is Blade 2. Fantastic game. And I'm joined with a fantastic human, also known as Tom Forsyth, who was a developer on the Xbox version of this game. If you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Tom Forsyth. He, him. Yeah, 20 years ago, I worked on this Xbox version of Blade 2, and I'm looking forward to the run.
Yeah, some new strats as well he hasn't seen, so it's exciting. Oh, I always get Tom to join me because it's good to get a nice bit of history of the game as well as the actual speedrun, and it's been such a long time now that he pretty much knows the run himself, so he knows what I'm going to do. So I've also got to help to actually explain what I'm going to do as well. Yeah, so time's going to start when I skip the first cutscene.
Pursue the vampire.
So I'll give you a countdown. It's after this.
And don't blink, or you will miss the first few levels. He goes quick.
Yeah, the start of this run is really quick. So 3, 2, 1, go. So right away, I'm just gonna turn around. I'm gonna come over to this box and get on the box. I'm gonna wedge myself into the bit of the box and then just clip through the wall. Now we're out of bounds. Very quick, straight away, just out the map, and we're gonna just jump straight to the end of the level. So a lot of this run is just going out of bounds and jumping to the end. And I say jumping, we don't always jump out of bounds. Sometimes you don't want to jump, sometimes you do. If you don't jump in certain places, you can actually get soft locked in between like level planes. Just got to kill these 2 enemies and then go back in, and there we go. It's first level done already.
That's that one.
This next level's even faster. This level's meant to be like really long. You're meant to like destroy some power generators and then come back. It takes about 2-3 minutes. But I'm gonna do it in like 15 seconds, hopefully. So you're gonna see the first major trick of the run, which is we're basically gonna trick the game into allowing us to like clip through floors by side jumping. You're not meant to be able to jump back in the direction you jumped towards, but we can do that and just go straight to the end.
We had so many bugs with falling out the world, and the last few months were just fixing those bugs, stopping you falling out of the world. Obviously, we missed a few, and Matt's found them.
Yeah, although it is funny that these side jumping glitches you can't do on the NTSC Xbox version. It only works on PAL for some reason, but you can do it on both on PS2. So Xbox is faster for hardware because it loads faster. That's pretty much the only reason. And then emulator is faster on PS2 because it loads faster than Xbox. So if you want to run PS2, you probably better off doing an emulator.
And Xbox is prettier because he's got that lovely cloak.
Yeah.
Or coat. Look at that.
The lighting is a lot better. The graphics are a lot better on this version.
Yeah, we had a lot more. The Xbox was a lot more powerful than the PS2, and so we got a lot more graphical fun to play with. So he's got proper shadows and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with what we managed to do with the hardware of the day. It was a very satisfying project to work on, even if it was just a movie tie-in.
I think this game is extremely underrated in terms of, for the time when this game came out, graphically, I would say it was ahead of its time, especially for back then.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's a very nice looking game, even on PS2. Like with the amount, like with how good the game looks, but then also the amount of enemies the game can have on screen at one time without it lagging is crazy. More so the Xbox version. On PS2 it does lag a bit, but
that was a primary goal of this game. We wanted a ton of enemies on screen. This was when people were going, moaning about how Quake had one guy on the screen at once. We wanted hordes, and we wanted you to really get that feeling of fighting like tens of vampires at once. And I think we nailed that. And so, yeah.
Yeah. It is very, very good.
And
it
the
can
only
be annoying
shame
though
is-
because you get absolutely battered, but
Yeah, that's the thing. Although we had a lot of hand-to-hand combat in the design, and it works quite well, Mattmatt doesn't do any of that because he's trying to go as fast as possible, so you actually won't see too much hand-to-hand combat. But yeah, obviously, if you play the game for real, there are lots of that.
yeah, this game is actually extremely difficult, and I don't know if it was you who told me that it was meant to be hard or if it was Mike, but yeah, this game is meant to be hard because back then apparently you wanted to get more playtime out of it, and you thought like the harder the game was, the more someone would play it. So
Yeah, it was like there was this like it's got to be 30 hours, it's got to be 40 hours or something. I don't think we made 30 hours even with, but it was deliberately hard because of that.
I mean,
today-
the speedrun
today
isn't
people
because
don't-
we skip all the hard stuff.
Right, you skip everything.
But the game casually, or even a glitchless run, would be extremely difficult to do. There's a couple of levels which are very hard to do fast without dying. Yeah. So this level, we just had to destroy a bunch of computers. There's no way we can really speed it up.
There you
And
go.
next up, we're going to do a pretty cool trick right at the start of this level. So you've been noticing me using these UV grenades a lot. Basically what it does, it wipes out rooms. And this next room here has a bunch of enemies on a top floor and on a bottom floor. And I'm going to basically break out the animation of the UV grenade. That allows me to jump over the railing and it should explode mid-air. And it will kill all the enemies in the room pretty much. So we throw it, we kick, we jump, explodes, then we do one more and hopefully... Okay, one of them survived. It's actually kind of annoying. Sometimes one of them won't actually die from the second one. It all depends if he tries to come towards you or not.
I do like that dissolve animation. It's quite cute.
Yeah. We're gonna do the first ever skip I found in this game. Which is this level's actually quite long. You're meant to like destroy these generators to access the final room, and then you're going to have like somewhat a boss fight. It's not really, but like you have to like defend off these enemies while you're trying to blow up this this powerful machine thing. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go out of bounds. Go straight to that room.
There we go.
I'm just gonna blow it up without having to worry about the enemies. So fun fact: if you enter this level, if you do this level only with a shotgun, you're fucked because you can't actually beat it. It's literally impossible. If you only go into this level without a shotgun, you don't have a pistol, you can't blow those up, and you just soft lock.
Oh.
That's yeah. 'Cause I saw someone streaming it a couple months ago, and they're wondering how you do it, and I'm like, yeah, you can't do that with just a shotgun. It will not work because the shotgun doesn't have a lock on like the pistol does. So.
Right.
You can't blow them up, and you can't get high enough to punch them, so you need a pistol. Which I feel like was a big oversight on your part, but...
Yeah, that seems like something we should have caught. Oops.
I mean, it took me a while to even realise, but then again, I don't use the shotgun, so it probably didn't even
Right.
cross my mind. So this level, casually, is one of those levels I talked about, which is one of the hardest. And it used to be one of the hardest in the speedrun as well. It still kind of is, but we're gonna do the hardest glitch in the game.
It
If
is
you want
the best
to, if you
glitch,
want to
though.
give it a little explain, Tom, since you kind of
Yeah.
know what I'm gonna do.
This is my favorite glitch. So there's a door that needs to be opened so that a helicopter can deliver you a canister of gas or something. And normally you have to run around, and I think there's a couple of generators you have to blow up to open the door and stuff. That takes way too long. So he's just going to jump through the door. There's the door, and sometimes this takes a couple of tries, but he just
Yeah,
jumps.
it's very precise.
This is the hardest one in the game, I think. Might take a couple of goes.
And I still don't understand exactly why it works, but it does, so I'm just not going to complain.
Then ask me. I just wrote the
There we go.
code. Mate.
I think it's because you get like wedged into two pieces of geometry, and it just kind of pushes
something
you
like that.
out of it, but it pushes you through the door if you do it a certain way.
And normally, if you'd open the door, there'd be lots of guys to fight. But because you didn't open the door, it didn't spawn the guys. So you just get to
Yeah.
pick up this canister. Now you're thinking, okay, I've got the canister. How does he get it back through the closed door? And the answer is, it doesn't matter because we never thought you'd be able to get the canister, so the canister doesn't test for intersection through the door, so he just puts it in the door.
Yeah.
Now he has to get to the other side, but the canister's like inside the door because there's no collision detection between the canister and the door, because why would there? You have to open the door before you get the canister.
You might not think this is fast, but it is. Overdoing this level the normal way, one, this makes it a hell of a lot safer, and two, this saves about 2 minutes. I think, something like that. Whoa.
It's an interesting place to come in. So now he's the other side of this door, and he can just reach in and pick the canister up through the door. It's a brilliant cheat.
You need this canister to beat the level. Without it, you can't finish the level. And like Tom said, if you open this door the normal way, then on the way back here, there would be tons of enemies again. So the way we would have to do this before was we would have to
you can't fight when
take
you're
enough
carrying the
damage
canister.
and fight enemies to get the rage meter filled up, so we could run through without taking damage and we'd run faster. But that was a big part of RNG in this level. But because we can do this now, there's no enemies here. We can just have a little trot. 2 enemies will come out right here. Sometimes I can run past them. Sometimes I can't. Let's see if I get... Okay, he did take cover. Good. Sometimes that guy will shoot or take cover. And he decided to take cover, so I can just run straight to the end.
Yeah, it's a good run. They're all just taking cover. And there you go.
Yep. And now on the second chapter. And then this level we're meant to dodge some trains. But instead of doing that, I'm gonna jump in the darkness for about a minute. I thought the game crashed then. It took a lot longer than usual. So I'm gonna just get behind this newspaper stand. I'm gonna back kick twice, and we can just go through the wall. And I'm just gonna jump in a straight line for about a minute.
Yeah. So the game's now really confused about where you are, of course, and the visibility system is, it's doing its best to show you the right graphics, but it only works if you're actually in the real level. So
Yeah.
I don't know how Mattmatt navigates this completely black world, but
I visualize. I play this game so much, I just know the levels layout inside and out. So literally to our right is the train track, and there's going to be trains going by. If you jump too far right here, you'll actually die out of bounds. It's happened to me before, and I just had an absolute heart attack. It was terrifying because it's like a jump scare when you die, because it just goes ding and then you just die, and it's scary. But yeah, so we're just jumping in a straight line. You saw a train.
There's also some. Oh, there's the skybox. There might be some unused geometry as well, which apparently we left
it's
in.
black on the Xbox version for some reason. It
Oh,
was
okay.
there.
On the PS2, you can
it's
see
white.
it's grey. Yeah. So I guess we didn't clean it up properly before we shipped the game. Oh well. This reminds me, this is Blade, right? He's this black guy in black leather with black glasses and everything. And initially we had him very true to the film. And the problem is you can't see what you're doing. So that's why we had to sort of make him grey instead of properly black. So you can actually see what you're doing, because otherwise you can't tell. So
This game is
there's a
very
weird
dark.
difference from the game and the film.
City sewers.
And actually, this is another big difference from the film, because so you're in a sewer now, and unfortunately, that's Whistler with a shotgun, and he's got to plant some bombs. So this is quite a long level, because there's no way to do it apart from
this
waiting
is the worst
for
level
Whistler.
in the game, because we're just going to be escorting Whistler for about 10 minutes and trying to make sure he doesn't get hit or anything like that, because it's slow.
Yeah, escort missions. Yay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh well.
This is the only level left that I want to be able to skip, but this level is tied to Whistler getting back to the start, so we don't know a way to skip it yet, and there probably never will be one, sadly.
But you'll notice these are beautifully lit sewers. These are the best lit sewers in the world. Because again, if you make it like cool and dark and dingy, you can't see what's going on.
Okay. And the vampire just hiding.
This is another... We used to have lots of jumping puzzles here. And they were just really annoying because there'd be like you'd have to jump over gaps, between the two sides of the sewer, and if you failed to jump, you'd have to crawl up the side, and they were just annoying. And so we sort of removed them one by one because they weren't interesting gameplay. They were just like, oh, if you fail the jump, you have to crawl up. Anyway, so we took them all out, so it's a much more open, and you don't have to jump as many places. And we just kept removing these annoying jumping puzzles. And finally, we removed one jumping puzzle, and it was about 2 weeks before the game had to ship. And someone said, so how many jumping puzzles have we got left in the game? And we sort of, oh, we got none. No jumping puzzles. And then someone said, yeah, there's one more jumping puzzle. It's in the tutorial where we teach you to jump.
I love that.
So the only jumping puzzle left in the entire game is in the tutorial. So we teach you to do jumping puzzles, and then there aren't any. It's brilliant.
Do you know what, Tom? I hate to like burst your bubble, and it's actually sad that I figured this out, but there is still jumping puzzles left. If you can think of the game, try and think of where they are.
I think there's one that's optional. It's not. Can you die?
Well, it's optional in the run because I don't do it, but technically you wanted people to jump. It's coming up soon.
Huh. Okay.
I'll point it out. I'll point it out because I realized after a couple of months after you mentioned that, I realized that there is actually still some form of jumping puzzle left, which is unfortunate because I love that story. But
it's a great story. There you go. But yeah, we just kept taking them out because they weren't any fun. 3D platformer jumping puzzles are never fun. It's just not a fun thing.
Yeah.
Leave that for Mario.
But you still left the jump button in, so thank you. Because if you didn't, I went too far ahead of him. No. Yeah, so if you go too far away from Whistler, it spawns enemies on top of him. So that's why I have to try and stay as close to him as I can. That's unfortunate. Oh well. I'll just tell you what level it's in. So the level that I'm talking about is the one where you have to run away from the vampire dinosaur.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. There are.
You've got those gaps that you're meant to jump over. Yeah, but
you're right.
You don't have to. You can just walk around them, but it's still there.
That's true. Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, okay. I think they're easy as well.
Yeah,
like
you can't
there
really
were some
mess
really
that
hard
up.
jumping puzzles, right?
You can even mess up the one in the tutorial because it's that finicky to jump across for some reason.
That was a real pain. Hey, look, you actually did some hand-to-hand combat there.
Yeah. I can actually do the combat in this game correctly. By actually doing it in a rhythm instead of just mashing the stick like most people do when they play this game.
Yeah, that's right. No, it is a sort of rhythm-based combat. And the idea was there'd be 8 vampires around you, and so they'd sort of go to the 8 directions on the stick, and they seek there, right, to make it look cool. They don't just randomly crowd around you.
What's the reset? Oh, anyway, we're just gonna stand here. So we stand here.
And we wait for Whistler, yeah.
Because if we stand here, it stops at some enemies that are meant to spawn. So we just can't stand here and wait.
If you'll notice, Blade does not look like Wesley Snipes. That's very deliberate. So
he does a bit.
Legally, he does not. We had the rights to, the name Blade 2 and a bunch of the assets, but we didn't have the rights to Wesley Snipes' likeness, except on the front of the box. So the front of the box has a picture of Wesley Snipes, but the in-game one had to deliberately not look like Wesley Snipes. Had to look like Blade, but not like Wesley Snipes. This drove the artists insane, trying to get... Because they go, it doesn't look like Blade enough, and then they change it and send it away. No, it looks too much like Wesley Snipes. It was like months of back and forth with the publishers trying to get Blade to look... It was just ridiculous. Oh well. no one cares anyway. But yeah, and also you're staring at the back of his head most of the time. But in the cutscenes, you can see his face, and yeah, so
I never
it's
watched
ridiculous.
the cutscenes.
Yeah, you
I
skip
should.
them all,
I
yeah.
haven't watched all the cutscenes in this game in nearly 10 years. I should watch them all again. But I mean,
Yeah,
the
it was-
story in this game isn't anything, you know, crazy.
It functions. It's fine.
Yeah.
We had 18 months to do this game, from like, ooh, here's a new Xbox dev kit, and a license to do the game, to actual shipping. So 18 months was a bit tight, but it worked okay. It's pretty good for a film time. The original deal was actually we had to ship the game the day the film released in cinemas, and they were really insistent on that. And so yeah, we had a very, you know, an ironclad deadline. We could not ship. So, you know, we had a lot of plans for different fun bits in the game that just we didn't have time to do. So
Yeah,
is
so
what it is.
there is actually a prototype build of this game from a couple of months before the game released, I believe, on the Xbox, and it shows that there's a level that was cut after Acid Rain. I think it was called the Tower something. I can't remember exactly what the name was, but it seemed like it was a boss, and it was cut. Tom doesn't remember it. I don't blame him. But yeah, that would have been nice
and that's
to
probably
see.
why there is only sort of 1.5 bosses in this game. I'm sure each chapter was meant to have a boss at the end, but I guess it just didn't work.
Yeah.
We just went,
So,
well,
as usual,
can't-
we're going to get back to the good stuff now, so we're just going to go out of bounds and just run to the end.
this looks like the same level. It's a completely different level. That's why
It is technically the same level, but it's not.
I guess it's the
You're
same
in the same
geometry,
place and it's the same area, but it's not the same level. It's funny though, because if you go this way in City Sewers, you can find the gate that I'm about to go to, but it's just floating out of bounds. It doesn't actually do anything.
Yeah, that'd be right.
Sadly, it doesn't do anything. It would have been nice if the end level trigger for this level was also in City Sewers and you could end City Sewers by hitting that. That's what I was hoping.
That'd be
Doesn't-
far
doesn't-
too easy. Far too easy.
Doesn't work, sadly.
Oh, look at the poor visibility system trying to figure out what the hell to draw.
The game didn't expect you to be like out of the map. But then I came along and then went out the map
There you go.
in all the places.
And that's that level again. A really quick just go out of
Yeah.
bounds, run to the end, done.
This level's quick as well, but it's not because I got out of bounds. It's just it's like a maze level, but I know where I'm going, and we just run to the end as quick as we can. And follow the rats.
Loads of
is
people, you follow the rats. Loads of people never got that because the place is
I did.
exploding
I
and you
was
went to get
smart.
out, right?
Yeah.
And there's also a sort of dinosaur chasing you. I don't know why there was a dinosaur.
Vampire
That's cool.
dinosaur. I
It's a
usually show
vampire
it during
dinosaur.
marathon runs, so I'll probably turn around near the end and
Yeah.
show it off.
But loads of people always like when it released, everyone was like, "I don't know, how do I get out of this? What the hell?" You follow the rats. Always follow the rats. The rats know where they're going. Maybe we're a bit.
I mean,
too
the rats have
subtle with
got
that.
the rats have got to be there for some reason.
You'd think. I guess we're a bit subtle with that. Oh well.
Yeah, so here. So this is the thing I was talking about. So here you meant to jump over this,
Oh yeah.
but we
yeah.
just walk over the side.
You're definitely not meant to be able to do.
No.
Again, how did that slip through? Oh well.
Just means I don't have to wait for the fire to go away. And the fire doesn't
Yeah, it
hit
is
you,
done.
so that's why it's useful.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so you
Collapses.
should see our friend. There he is, a little vampire dinosaur. Now I'm gonna run away.
Why is it a vampire dinosaur? I don't remember. I don't remember the really.
Well, maybe
ridiculous-
it's not meant to be a dinosaur, it just looks like one. I've always called it a dinosaur.
It looks like a dinosaur. I don't know.
I know it's got a name. I think it tells you somewhere in the lore on the game. I don't know where, but I'm pretty sure it does have a name. I just don't remember what it was.
I mean, it's the same reason that later we get vampires in spacesuits. Why? I don't know. Looks cool.
Looks cool. And they're not from space.
Gaunt Moor aside.
Well, I don't think they are anyway.
I think this is my favorite level with all the geometry. There's some really nice. Look at the columns, the twisty columns. They're really cool. You could do with a bit more light, some bright colors, but I just love the
it's very gothic
geometry in there. It's very gothic.
But again, we're gonna do some things sometimes to get to where we need to get out of bounds, and then we're gonna go out of bounds and jump to the end. So a lot of these levels in this game, I'm skipping over them, but a lot of them are quite difficult. Some of them are really hard, but some of them are like just difficult. This is one that's like just difficult. But I'm just gonna skip it. I don't know why I always mess up this out of bounds. It's a very tight jump. I keep messing it up recently. There we go.
And if you'll notice, he had the coat on earlier. Well, he doesn't have his coat on. Why? Because we're out of CPU time on this level. Some of the levels we just didn't quite have enough processing power to do the cool cloth physics on the coat. And so, inexplicably, he's just not wearing his coat. And we don't explain why. And it's just because we didn't have enough processor time.
I'm lost.
It was a really cool coat. That was done by Rosie. He did all the coat physics. Mark Rose, sorry.
Okay, I'm not lost. I was very confused then. I did not know. That's quite an awkward out of bounds because you don't have much cues to go off of, and
right.
You want to try and not get too close to the inbounds because you might accidentally jump back in, and you don't want that either. So it's just hard to navigate that out of bounds quick. I need to run because there is a bug here that can happen. If you die. On the Xbox version specifically, if you die while the level's fading out, you lose all game audio.
Shooting at you still. Oh, that's right. That's such a weird bug.
Only on the Xbox it does that, so I would have to restart the console if it did it.
Clearly my fault then.
Yeah, it's Tom's fault. I don't know why. It does. It's happened a bunch of times on PS2, but I've never lost the sound. So we get another tricky out of bounds here. Precise one. First try, nice. Because if you're too close to the edge when you do that, you can clip into the top of the stairs and you'll get stuck.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Which is annoying.
So yeah, we had to ship the same day the film released, and then about 6 months before, they said, "Hey, yeah, so we're moving the film release date up by 4 months or something." So you guys got to be ready. We're like, sorry, in 2 months you want us to ship this game? We're 2/3 of the way through, and you want us to chop 4 months off the end? No. And they were really annoyed because we're like, but we want to do the film at this date, and you said you'd be ready, by the film ship date. And they said no. We said this date on the calendar, not whenever you guys want to release the film. So they didn't get their simultaneous, ship the game and the film on the same day.
It makes you wonder if the game did come out the same day the film did, if it would have sold better or was better received. I don't know.
No, well, I mean it was,
Didn't you say that it did sell well technically?
It sold fine for a movie tie-in. I mean,
I bought all the copies. It was all me.
We got some amazing advertising because on the date we actually did ship, which was the agreed date. Back then, games were sold physically, right? There wasn't any online stuff. So you actually went into a store and you bought a disc. And all the stores had this, top 10 games selling this week or whatever. And so that was all rubbish, right? That wasn't based on any charts or anything. That was based on how much money the publisher paid to the game store, right? And so Activision, who published this game, they had pre-booked the #1 slot for when this game was released. So they'd already bought the #1 slot for an Activision game. And it was intended for a different game. But that game slipped, so they didn't have that game for sale. And so they're like, shit, we've bought all this advertising. What's our best game? Blade 2. So we got like #1 best-selling game for Blade 2 on all the UK stores, and I think a lot of the US stores as well.
Help me, Blade.
And you know what? When you appear to be #1, people look at you, and it sold fine. It sold better than it deserved, certainly.
Always Vorpal. Only boss fight in the entire game.
Oh yeah. This is the only boss fight. Thank God.
And it's... do you know what? With this new strat, I'm not going to say it's shit now. I mean, it still is, but it's not as bad.
Oh yeah, you said,
and
you,
you'll
said you had
see
a
why.
new strat on this. Yeah. Show me the strat.
This first part's the same, but we'll get into the good stuff in a sec. This is a reveal for Tom as well, for this new strat.
Yeah, I've not
I wish
seen
these
this strat.
vampires would stop blocking me, please. He's gonna. If he does, okay, he did that. That's good. Right, so I'm gonna do this the same at the start because he's annoying. So I'm still gonna come over to this door and do my blocks as usual.
If he stands here, then the boss doesn't come over to him.
Alright, so here's my new strat. So I'm going to hit him, and I'm going to run over here. I'm going to take a really specific line. So then I'm going to hug this wall. And then by the time I get back to the door, he's ready to turn. So I'm just going to turn around, wait for him to turn, and go. And I'm just going to keep doing that, and I'm not going to get hit.
Huh. Oh,
So
rather
basically-
than stand at the door.
Yeah. So basically what I'm doing here is, for whatever reason, if you're at this door, Vorpal will go straight back down where he is, and then you can attack him again. So now he's coming down, and I can just come over and attack him.
Interesting. And you got the exact timing to attack him again. Nice.
Yeah. It is still kind of risky-ish. Oh, see, I hit him too late. That's bad. If you hit him too late, he doesn't go back to charge and actually still does his attack, even though you attacked him. It's kind of annoying. No, my luck, I'm probably actually going to die because I'm taking a lot of damage. Surprisingly.
It does seem a bit more reliable than the other one, where you had to just constantly fight those guys at the door. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just do that. Come over, hit him, just keep doing it.
Yeah. It's working well.
Yeah, so as I was saying, so if you're by that door, he will go straight back down instead of moving around the room, and you can just keep cycling him into this loop and just hit him. And yeah, so casually, from a casual perspective, this boss fight is extremely difficult. Obviously not because of the boss, but because of the vampires beating the shit out of you constantly while you're trying to fight him. Which is
Yeah, and they
annoying.
constantly spawn even if you kill them, so there's just a lot of them. Yeah.
It's actually annoying. Nice motorbike. You don't want to kill any of them because if you do, then what can happen is when you go to attack Vorpal, one will spawn, and there's a good chance that he will try to hit you as you try and attack Vorpal, and it will knock you out of animation, and it's really annoying.
There we go. Lovely.
Yeah, so that's just a lot safer way to do that.
That's been the common failure point of some of these runs, or not failure. You know, you've got to redo it.
Yeah, and it's a very, especially on the Xbox for some reason, it's a lot more reset heavy. Don't know why. But it's very easy to die. I mean, I nearly died then doing that, but I think that's because I got hit by one of Vorpal's electric attacks as well. Now we've got the coat back. This is the last time you're actually going to see the coat, because once we do this level, it's gone for the rest of the game.
Again, why? And now we got the guys in the spacesuits.
Yeah. So we're going to shoot off this this rock here. I'm going to blow up all these enemies. I'm going to get up here and just do a jump backwards. What? Okay. Hello? Why is it not working? What? I'm very confused.
Yeah.
What?
Did we patch it?
While that trick is being completed, now's a great time to read that there's been a donation. And that donation got the bonus run for Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion to be met. And that donation's from Game Eye saying, "Loved broadcaster's commentary, great run and great event. love the support from the Game Eye community, and they went for the challenge of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion bonus run, and also they put towards the poll of pet the cat for Katana Zero.
I'm very confused. This is like,
Thank you.
I'm gonna restart the level. I think the rocks exploded in a weird way and it's blocking me. Because that is
I've
actually
never
really
seen you
easy.
even hesitate
That's so
on that
easy
one.
to do.
Yeah.
I don't understand. You literally just jump sideways, and because
Yeah.
this game being funky, if you like jump sideways while you're strafing in this game, in the Xbox version specifically, you jump backwards, and that allows you to just clip through. And no, it's not. I've never had a problem doing that. It must be because of the rocks. I don't know. Hopefully this time it will be fine. Very confused. There is a backup that I can do if it still doesn't work, but I don't even know if it works on this version. What is going on? I literally did this before I started, and it's now just not working. Okay, I'm gonna try and do the backup if I can actually do it. I don't
Yeah,
even
I've never seen you
remember
fail like
how.
before.
I don't even know if this works on this version.
Oh, this is from the PS2.
Yeah, you just kind of, no, I don't even think the geometry is the same. Because you'd walk into this gap and then jump through. Yeah, it's not the same. Huh. I'm gonna have to... I have to try and do it a different way. I mean, this isn't even precise too. You just line it up and do it. That's okay. Well,
Yeah.
did the same thing. Whatever.
It's weird.
Oh well. It's a lot easier to do on PS2 anyway, but you do the same thing on PS2, it's just done a little bit differently. But I don't know. That was very strange. I've never seen that before.
No, I didn't even realize that was a hard jump. I guess
It's not. I'm confused. Whatever. Now we've got the hardest level in the speedrun technically, because it's just really annoying towards the end. If I mess this level up, I can lose like 5 minutes. Four
And look,
5
it's
minutes.
the prettiest level. It's one of the prettiest levels as well.
And it's got another one of Tom's favourites where we're going to put a canister on the other side of a wall.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just gonna go out of bounds. Oh, I'm gonna set this up here, this jump. Usually I don't on PS2, but on Xbox I can get despawned really easily, so I'm just gonna... I want to make sure if you go too far left or right here, you will... You'll just get stuck in a limbo and you just get soft locked.
Gotcha.
I don't know where I am. Oh, I'm very far to the right.
Yep.
Yeah, so basically
you-
what we're doing is we're not going out of bounds to the other level. We're going out of bounds to get to the point where you're meant to turn the power. That skips a bunch of stuff. And then we've got to get a canister. And then we're going to do the same thing as before. We're going to put the canister in a spot, go back out of bounds and get it from the other side. Now, this one's more interesting because of the fact that in this level, there's like two of these generators you're meant to like chuck the canisters in to blow them up. And us doing it this way allows us to skip doing one of them. So when you blow up the first one, this electric fence like the power on it deactivates and you can go through it. But we
You'll
can
see
actually
the electric fence.
yeah.
but yeah.
We can actually
There's
put the
two of
canister
them.
into the fence and get through it and pick it up from the other side. And that skips doing the first actual canister. We don't have to do that.
Oh god, the midget vampires. Why? Why did we put them in there? Oh well.
Wow, my UV grenade only killed 4 of them. Didn't even kill the big guy. Nice.
So there's one of the doors, but ignore that.
Yeah, that is the one we're gonna.
Electric doors.
That is the one we're gonna actually go through. But not yet. We need to get the canister first. I'm gonna kill these enemies because trying to carry the canister with enemies around is not a fun time.
Yeah, you can't.
You can actually
can't
get stun locked.
attack people when you're carrying the canister. So you have to keep putting it down and beating them up and picking it up again. So here's the canister.
And you can get, if you get hit while you're carrying it, sometimes for whatever reason, I don't know what causes it, but if you get hit, you can actually get like hit into a stun lock and you can't do anything. You can't drop it, you can't move, you're just stuck, and then you have to just restart the level.
Yeah, that's a silly bug. Oh well.
There's a vampire behind me. Should be fine.
Keep running, keep running.
So I'm just gonna place it in here.
I like the way the canister doesn't have a shadow. You do, but the canister doesn't.
I've never actually noticed that.
Also, your weapons don't have shadows.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, so fun fact is when you place that canister down, that electric field is meant to damage you, but while you're placing it down, you have like iframes, so it doesn't actually do any damage to you.
This is the
So we're gonna get on this, and then we're just gonna get right on the edge, and we're gonna side jump, and it allows us to float in the air. So what we're basically doing is we're tricking the game into letting us land like on the platform underneath us, but then we actually end up on the other side of the railing, so we just kind of float. This one's actually quite difficult to do, especially on this version, because it's quite a precise jump. Because you have to have like a really specific angle, and you need to be right on the edge of this thing. But if you're too close to the edge, you're gonna fall off. Kind of annoying. And again, I did this in practice earlier, first try, and now I can't do it. How it goes. There we go. Then we just jump through the wall.
Hey.
So. A lot of walls in this game don't have collision the higher up they are, so you can just jump through them if you can get high enough.
Able to jump at them.
I'm gonna line myself up here to get
So you can see
this
that
side.
that's the flickering stuff is the electric thing.
Yeah.
There you go.
This doesn't save as much
Canister.
time as you'd think. It's only about like a minute and a half, but this level is extremely annoying, even with this skip. So without it, it's even worse.
Another grenade.
And now this part's really RNG. So we've got to hope that these guys with these guns will take cover and just leave me alone.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's not good.
No.
Because if you're on those stairs as well, you can't drop the canister.
Yes.
So you just got to hope that you don't get punched a lot. So you can get up the stairs to then drop it if they start to shoot you. So we're getting somewhat close to the end. There's a couple more levels left. The estimate for this run is quite high. Usually I'd have it at like 50 minutes. So I'm probably going to finish a lot under estimate, even with the mistakes, because this was meant to be run by Zhao, but sadly he couldn't do it. So I'm doing it. I was the one who submitted this for him to learn it. He apparently has learnt it, but
Another backwards jump through the wall.
Oh yeah, we just jump backwards
Easy.
through the wall, out of bounds. So yeah, the estimate is quite high. It shouldn't be as high as it is, so I'm probably going to finish quite a ways under that.
Now we got the tool dudes.
Just going to spam 2 UV grenades. Take out all these enemies. This is why we play New Game Plus, by the way, just because you can annihilate everything with the UV grenades. It makes the levels that are still difficult a lot easier as well. It's just for the speed.
Yeah.
Because any percent is literally just you only have a pistol the entire game, so it just adds a bit of variety. Because in this game you unlock stuff based on points, and in this run, as you probably can gather, you don't get a lot of points because points is based on killing, and we don't really kill anything. So yeah, I'm pretty sure in the speedrun the only thing you unlock is like a glaive or something. You don't get much else because we don't get a lot of points. And the UV grenade itself is like 30,000, so yeah, you're not getting that.
I think that unlock system was another part of that. Like, oh, we got to get 30 hours of gameplay or something. Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad you added it because it made made the speedrun a bit more interesting.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, this
this
level is
this
probably
is normally
the hardest in the game by far, 100%. But that's glitchless.
Yeah, and it's long as well.
Yeah. So I'll try my best to explain this level. So basically, it's meant to be an escort mission. We're meant to go to the helipad to get Dr. Grant, and then we basically bring her to this machine. And it's really, really long. It's a very long level too. It's about 10 minutes. Yeah, but I'm just gonna skip all that. And the way I skip it is beautiful. I love it so much. It's my favorite skip, and it took me so long to find that it's actually embarrassing. So there's this gate, no way through it. But I'm just gonna turn around, and jump backwards through it, no problem.
I think it's ridiculous. How did we miss that? I don't understand how we shipped this game and missed just run to the end. There you go.
Yeah, so this level was like unskippable for a long time because we couldn't find a way to get through that gate. The problem was the trigger's behind it, and if you go out of bounds, you're too low to get to it. And then one day I was just messing around. I just literally jumped into it and just went through, and it was a beautiful day. Honestly, I loved it so much. It was a great day.
So this is the final level, which we were like a month from ship, and we did not have a final level. We just didn't. We had some geometry, and we didn't have a plan. We just had some weird flying things that you had to shoot, and it wasn't fun. And boy, I remember us sort of throwing around a whole bunch of ideas, and they all sucked and stuff. Anyway,
you thought this was fun?
No, but it was the least unfun thing.
I missed the health pack, dude. Come on.
Oh, dude. Anyway, so fortunately, drag this out. Anyway, Whistler is running around, and the idea is you're meant to distract all the vampires while Whistler.
I'm gonna do the strat in a second. Just have to get me health back first.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just hold this guy already on there. I'm gonna drop down here. I don't know if he's gonna get in my way now. I'm inside of him. That's cool. Okay, so we're just gonna stand there. I'm gonna give it a minute. I'm doing like a buffer right now, so I'm just letting all the enemies settle. I don't want it to turn around too quickly because I can actually get pushed out of bounds or knocked off. Yes, if I turn around, they're just hanging out.
And they're just chilling. They're just waiting. And meanwhile, you can see Whistler is the only one moving. He's planting some bombs or something. But the vampires are like, he's be mean to interrupt him, really.
So we're literally just going to sit here for 2.5, 3 minutes?
Something like that. Whistler's very slow.
Yeah, and yes, this is pretty much the end of the game.
And that's the big fat king vampire or whatever in the bubble. And Whistler's just planting explosives by him. But yeah, the key is to get into this tiny little ledge, and then
the AI just gets very confused. If you play PS2, and I think it's PS2 NTSC, the enemies will actually try and still try and get you. They'll still try and run, and they'll just all pile up underneath you. But I just think this is more amusing because they just stand there. I'm really surprised. There's so many tiny differences between every version of this game. It baffles me.
Which is really confusing. None of that's deliberate. It should be the exact same code for, NTSC and PAL on both PS2 and Xbox. So it is very weird to me that there are different versions. So I don't know.
It makes it more fun for me because I actually get excited to test versions as well.
That's true.
Do more playing.
Last explosive. Go on,
so time is coming up pretty soon. Just gotta get out, run up this what is it? It's like a cave.
Escape ramp.
Explosive
device come on, Whistler. There we go. Explosive device planted.
I'm just gonna wait a little bit for him to. I want him to go a bit further ahead because I don't want to be too quick. I've actually had it before when I was on PB pace, and I was standing at the end and I went a bit too quickly, so I didn't realize how long I'd been waiting for Whistler, and I just wasn't paying attention. I didn't block or anything, and I actually got killed. I took loads of damage.
Right, because
but then the cutscene still played even though I died. But then it failed me anyway, so yeah. We're just gonna stand here, get ready on time. As soon as the cutscene triggers. Time. There we go. That was Blade 2. It aggravates me so much that on the Xbox version the music does not change for the credits. It's still the same one that was already playing. It really annoys me.
Yeah. Again, why? Why is that different?
It's like when you're in quarantine. On the PS2 version it plays Got a Secret, but on this version it plays a completely different song that's just not as exciting.
There's our superstars.
And your finish time was 48 minutes and 22 seconds. That was...
It's acceptable.
Quite
that
under
probably
your
could have been
estimate.
a PB if I didn't mess up that one level and couldn't clip through the wall. My PB for this version is not very optimized at all, so I haven't spent much time with the Xbox version I have with PS2, so yeah, that was Blade 2. You probably would have already seen Tom's name in the credits. I forgot to point it out. I usually do, but I forgot.
That's all right.
And yeah, this is literally the ending. Just look at these credits. There's no music playing because this version's poo. Oh, it's playing music now. Yeah, that's Blade 2. Thanks again, Tom, for joining me as usual.
Pleasure.
I'm not sure what's next. Oh, I don't have the schedule open. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what's next, but
what's up next is Conquest of the Longbow: The Legend of Robin Hood, any percent version 1.1 on MS-DOS by Ludwig von Koopa.
Well, good luck to the next runner and the rest of the runners. This is the second time I've run Blade at Speedromizer. Both times the person who was meant to run it didn't do it, so I'm happy to do it myself.